47 degrees now. I have a guest with me on the phone that I'd like to introduce you to. We're going to talk about being parents and what to do, because I think we're all amateurs at that. With me on the phone is Suzan Sussman of Cornell Cooperative Extension of Orange County, a parenting educator. Welcome, Suzan. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, Kate. So nice to be on. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I remember leaving the hospital with my firstborn and saying, do these people know what they're doing, letting me leave with this little person? I don't know what I'm doing. We're all amateurs at this.
It's for sure. I mean, it's a very hard job, and we all, it's an emotional job, so it becomes even harder.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you are here to help us out, and Cornell Cooperative Extension has a whole bunch of programs that can really help. So welcome, and tell us about the ones that are nearest and dearest to your heart, won't you?
Oh gosh. So I've been with Extension for almost 10 years now. We've had some gaps in there, but I'm back and working very closely with a very strong team of parenting educators. We have so much to offer, from young children, parents of young children, all the way up to the Relatives as Parents program, which is for supporting parents that are raising related children.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have a wealth of information to share with the public. Right. So this week we are in full force. And so tonight we have the second session of unpacking the teen years. So, parents are often terrified when their kids are going into the teen years. So this is just a really supportive, it's a session series, but we'll still take people, since we did last week. It's just a supportive environment to really help parents understand, what are teens going through? What changes are they going through? What do they need? How can we best communicate with them?
What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? It's such a big subject. I'm glad you're covering it in 4 classes.
Exact. And workshops, really workshops are the best way, because it gives parents the opportunity to go home, try something out, come back, say, oh, this isn't working, or this worked great, and, really kind of, develop those tools and strategies and be able to reflect on it and talk about it with a group. So we're on our second night tonight. It's virtual, so we really try to remove as many barriers as possible. Allowing people that may not have transportation or may not have the ability to get childcare for younger kids. So it just makes it more accessible to people. So that's our second one. Our second one is tonight. Again, that's called Unpacking the Teen Years. Mm-hmm. In addition, we have another teen program that's in person. And so that also started last week, and that's called Strengthening Families 10 to 14. And this is a really unique program because this is an in-person program. It's being held at Monroe Woodbury Middle School. It's a 7-week series, and it's parents attend with their youth that are ages 10 to 14.
Okay.
So it's really a dynamic program. In the end, they actually come first. They have a family meal, so we take, again, another barrier we remove to make it more possible for people to attend. Mm-hmm. We provide them with a family meal. Then they separate for the first hour, so the parents go off with our adult, the adult session, and then the youth go off with 2 youth facilitators. And we learn similar concepts and thoughts and ideas, but from 2 different perspectives. So the youth are playing games and role-playing and doing different activities, maybe some creative aspects like, creative art kind of things. And then we come back together for a family session, and you sit by family. And sometimes you're working on a family-related project, and sometimes it's a larger group activity. But it's very fast-paced. It's really fun, really engaging. And it's evidence-based, so that means that we know that there's positive impact by taking this program. The Strengthening Families program has been around for many, many, many years, and there's great impacts to our youth. So if anyone is interested in this program, I would need them to reach out to me today, because this is the last day we'll take new people for this program. but it's a phenomenal program.
And there's no fee for it, according to the website.
Oh, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, it's funded by the Orange County Youth Bureau and United Way. The value of this program would be about $850 per family.
Whoa.
But because they're so generous, it's free for families.
And I
So,
see
yes.
one other thing, and this used to appeal to me when my kids were smaller, free childcare for younger children between 3 and 9 years old. So if you would stay home because the other children can't be there, yes, they can. Free childcare between 3 and 9. So that's a wonderful feature too. You don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet you do know what that means to parents.
we do, and that's the thing is you want it to be, we want to remove as many barriers as possible to get people there. So that's wonderful, and it's just a great program. I mean, it's just so much fun to teach and see families evolve in the course of the 7 weeks. I know it's a big time commitment, but it's time well spent.
Yeah. Okay, so that is tonight. It's the second. It's the second one. You started it a week ago, but people could still join for tonight. How do they get a hold of you if they'd like to register?
My email address is probably the best way, so that if they're interested, I know right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's sls536@cornell.edu.
Okay, if anybody missed that, just email me, kate@wallradio.com, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Or they can register on the Cornell site under Strengthening Families, and we'll be checking, to see. But
Okay.
If they are really interested, it's best if they reach out to me today, as soon as possible.
Well, since it's tonight, yeah, sure. And the website is that I'm on right now is cceorangecounty.org, and I looked this up under events.
Correct. /events. Perfect.
Okay.
So that's Strengthening Families and unpacking the teen years. So the teen years, we want people to go into the teen years with a positive, strengths-based approach, as opposed to with dread. So we want to help parents. We really do want to help them through this trying time because it's scary. It's scary. So those are the 2 teen programs. Then tomorrow on Thursdays for the next 5 weeks, I am teaching another virtual program called Discipline is Not a Dirty Word. So this is Cornell's foundational program, Orange County's foundational parenting program, because it really sets the tone for parenting. It helps parents that have youth tune up. Mm-hmm. Really helps them, communicate in positive ways to our children, understand what kind of parenting styles we have, so that we can be, the most effective. How do we build relationships with our children? How do we, listen more and talk less? How to use active listening with our youth. Giving one of our fun tool is instead of saying no, don't stop, which we tend to say when we're dealing with toddlers, telling them what they can do. So turning something into, instead of don't run, we say use your walking feet. Teachers do this all the time. So we really try to model that kind of approach so that we're teaching our child the information so they can, operate more effectively. So instead of saying don't, we're telling them what they can do.
Okay.
So that's one of the tools we use in Discipline.
Pivot.
It's not a dirty word.
Pivot. That's what a politician would call it in a speech. Just change the subject just a little bit and distract and move on in a different, better direction. But what this is not is teaching you, oh, sure, give in to everything that your child wants. No.
Oh, absolutely
no,
not.
no.
I mean, because we talk about love and limits. We talk about how the value that kids may not say, hey, I want some limits, but they really do thrive in an environment that has expectations that are set and that they understand what the rules are, because rules help give them order to their universe and help them understand what's expected of them so that it's not chaotic. They feel a lot better when they know what is expected. So you're absolutely right. They're not ruling the roost. It's, the parents are providing limits and structure and guidance. It's all about educating and helping them grow.
Yes.
It's a great class. I love discipline is not a dirty word.
I heard a quote once from someone who said people who let their children run free and do whatever they want are kind of like people who let their garden run free and then they're surprised when their garden is full of weeds. So you do have to prune some bad habits here and there. And this kind of class I think really gives people a good guideline in where to start. I want to hear more. We're going to take a quick break though. It's 8:20 already.
Oh my goodness.
I know. With me is Suzan Sussman of Cornell Cooperative Extension of Orange County. We're talking parenting programs and issues and teaching and learning and getting along together. And we'll have more on Wall Radio in just a moment. Yes, Middies football. The next game is tomorrow. We'll tell you more about that as the time comes on. But Wall Radio presenting every play, Middletown High School football. With me on the phone, let's go back to Suzan Sussman, a parenting educator at Cornell Cooperative Extension of Orange County. So you've got these couple of classes tonight and tomorrow, and I bet you have other things coming up.
We do. So next week we have a brand new program that's called Unpacking Gender. A colleague from our Cornell Cooperative Extension, Suffolk County, is presenting it. She's coming into town. There's going to be two options. You can either attend in Middletown at Cornell Cooperative Extension or virtually. And so this is a really great opportunity to help people understand what it means to live in a gender-expansive society and how to care and support gender-diverse youth. So, obviously it's a very confusing topic for people. They don't understand, all these differences of kids and the various pronouns and such.
Sure.
But this is a way for us to really understand how to navigate this and how to best support our youth. So I'm really excited about this. This will take place next Tuesday, October 17th from 6:30 to 8:30. You do need to register. But it's a great opportunity if anyone has any questions and or youth that they're dealing with that they want to understand better.
Okay. And that's also at no charge.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, the previous programs, the Strengthening Families program is free. The Unpacking the Teen Years and Discipline is not a dirty word. We do have a very small fee, but we also have the option for someone to choose a scholarship, a solidarity fee, which means no charge. So we have a lot of flexibility there. So just letting you know that.
You're really here to serve the community in so many ways. Cornell Cooperative Extension does. The more I learn, the more I'm just amazed at all of the work that your organization does.
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, when I first started working there, I was like, oh, wow, they offer so many great things, so it's true. I definitely feel that we can't get out the information enough. We do so much that we can to let people know what we offer, but many people are quite surprised at what's available to them. So
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes. So, okay, what else?
So the next two programs that we have, I developed a 4-session program that's like a quarterly program that's really based on connection, because to me connection is really at the heart of all of our relationships that we have. So at the beginning of the year I did connecting with your child, then connecting with your teen, and they're just one and done programs, so a 90-minute program on each of those topics. So the next one is really all about self-connection / self-care, because the research has really shown that it's really important for parents to, know how to take care of themselves. And the value of like decompression and taking deep breaths and, going out for a run, going out for a walk, whatever it might be, to put themselves in the limelight for a little bit sometimes, because you'll be more effective as a parent and probably more grounded so that you can serve them better. So there's a lot, I know that when I was raising my kids, I prided myself on being last on my list.
Mm-hmm.
And now I tell people all the time, don't be last on your list.
Yeah,
Don't be
I
last.
get it. Yes.
You get it, right?
And it's good to teach the kids, okay, your time is now. Now, mom gets some time for mom. And that's fair. That's reasonable. Sure.
And for a mom to say, you know what, I can't talk about that right now because I'm going to lose it. So
Ah,
let me go out for a walk and I'll come back and we're going to talk about this with, a better
that's
mindset.
yep.
So
And
teaching your child that how do you manage those times when you're overly stressed?
okay. And of course, this applies to dad too. I don't mean to leave out dad.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So that one is taking place on October 24th, and that should also be on our website. And then the last one of that series is called Building Your Community Connection. So it's ways to kind of build your tribe, build your support system, and the value of having a support system. So that will be taking place in November, and I believe November 15th. Yeah, November 15th. And those two are also virtual, and those are either $10 or no charge, depending upon what you select.
Okay. So many things
So that's
going on. Cornell Cooperative Extension. You can see them and click through to register if you go to cceorangecounty.org and then look under events, and there it is. And you'll see all the other workshops and activities and groups, and of course the 4-H and everything that is handled by Cornell Cooperative Extension. I think you'll be amazed at the depth of what you do.
yeah, yeah. So there's two things that I just wanted to share before we wrap up, and one is, we're always looking for volunteers 15 and up to help with our programs.
Good.
Whether it's assisting with a child care person or helping out with activities. So if anyone's looking for like community service, we would love that. And they could reach out to Susie McCormick at Cornell. And then we're also looking for a position, a child care position for someone 21 and up. That would help with a lot of our programming. We offer, again, as you saw, child care for many of our programs to take away that barrier. And we have a paid position, and we would love if someone would be interested in that to reach out again to Susie McCormick.
That's on your website also. I see that there's a tab for volunteer and there's a tab for jobs. So those are two
Yes.
places that people can look. Cornell Cooperative Extension, the website one more time, cceorangecounty.org. Susan, we have gone whoosh right through our time. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having us and supporting Cornell Cooperative Extension. We really appreciate it.
We do. We appreciate you here at Wall Radio. It's 8:30. We've got to move on, starting with the news update from CBS News.